Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy outside of YP, and I'm here with the host that do the most empty.
Heart.
Aye. So today we are talking about all the bright places, a Netflix original movie, best essentially about loss and about teenagers dealing with loss and dealing with mental health and all that type of fuzzy wuzzy duzzy things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
So yeah, let me ask you a question, bro.
yes
Like
sir, yes sir.
when you come across this situation, you saw someone standing on the ledge. What's you gonna do with dealing with this
I wouldn't
situation,
do what he did because she could have found, bro.
bro?
he's
The dude
he's scared
there,
of her, bro. I was like, bro, that's a dumb decision, bro.
man,
It,
Finch there, like the main dude. It was literally the first scene of the movies, and guys, like,
I
it
was like,
was.
how did
I
she
mean,
not fall? He's scared the living shit out of her.
yeah, like seriously, your guy saw a girl like standing on the ledge, and then what he did wasn't be like, hey, let's talk, like what how normal people, ordinary people would do, like, hey, please just rethink what you're doing. Like you kind of try to persuade them to not to do that, but man, this dude, he fucking stand right next to her and be like, hey, girl, see what I can do. Stand on one foot and then be like, hey, like, it feels like the
Look at
vibe where
me.
it was
Look
like,
at what I can do.
hey. If you jump, I jump. Bro, this ain't no Titanic bullshit, man. I was so fucking shocked. When I was
Oh,
watching the first scene, I was like, damn, bro. Like, you the clown there. You the clown, bro.
he knows, man. He got the sauce, bro. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know if I was in that situation, if I saw that, I'd probably just grab the person because that way it guaranteed they don't fall. Because if you say hey, they might skate, they might startle, they might slip, anything could happen. So I'd make sure to
Oh
be
yeah.
close enough where I could grab them. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting thing. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny as well. I was like, bro, this guy's crazy. I quite enjoyed the movie. I know it was a very very slow paced movie. But I suppose I kind of like slow paced movies. You know what I love, like Your Name and stuff like that. I like those type of like build up type of movie. Obviously, Your Name is like 10 times more
Bro, no,
entertaining.
no, no, no. Like if it builds up to a very like hyped to a certain hype. I mean, I probably would be okay with the build up, the slow, and the
True,
beginning, and all
it's
that.
kind of monotone a little bit. Yeah.
It keeps, yeah, like you invest in the story, and I feel like all the bright places is not the best, with building up the pace, or keep you interested in the story. I mean,
hmm
so do you want to go through the plot quickly?
Yeah, so the plot is basically there's a girl that loses her sister. Her name is Violet. She loses her sister like a year prior in a car accident, and basically
Yeah,
she's now
basically not long
terrified.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that long ago, but she's now terrified. And her sister was like her best friend. They had a website together and shit. But she's now terrified of vehicles. She's now She only cycles or walks. She can't get into cars. She doesn't. She won't like open up again. She closed herself in a box. What I found interesting is she ignored her girlfriend, but she talked to the guy friend when he sat down on the table. I found that quite interesting. But
I
basically,
think I think this is the situation where you trying to get away from people you're closer to, because you feel like, oh, maybe they know too much about me. Oh, like, maybe if like it's a kind of a dilemma. Like, you feel like, oh, maybe if I stick around for too long, they might also get hurt or something. Like it's understandable, like how
yeah, she
you
doesn't
don't
want to
want to.
lose another. Like she already lost her sister. She wants don't want to lose her closest friend. On top of that, so the movie, I suppose, kind of focuses on her character, and then there's a boy who has his own problems where everybody thinks he's kind of crazy because I guess he loses his shit every now and then. Although to be fair, he's pushed to a lot of times, and basically, his dad was abusive, and he's afraid of becoming like his dad, and that's his dilemma. And he feels like he's always wondering, like, can you change? Can you not change? And I think his sister actually killed his hope when she was like, he was just an asshole. Like there was no changing that, which kind of made him feel like there was no hope in helping him change
Uh,
from getting too
so so
aggressive to getting too angry.
basically so basically he saw himself
He saw his
under
dad in
his
himself.
father's.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was his dilemma, and he didn't want to treat his kids the way his father did. He didn't want to treat the people he loved the way his father did. And I think when he reached the breaking point towards the end of the movie, that's what led to him making that decision, because he felt like, especially when he started that fight in the hallway, he felt like, I can't control it. Like I just lashed out. I lost myself. I can't even remember what I did. Like, so I don't want to do this to somebody I love. And that's why even, when people like he disappears every now and then, it's because when he feels like it's coming on, he runs away so that he can't hurt anybody but himself. Because he's afraid
Yeah.
of
So
lashing out.
so yeah, and in that way, maybe that's why those two kind of understand each other, because
Yeah.
like she tries to stay away from the friends, her girl, like close friends, and then be like, hey, maybe like people might get hurt from all my negativeness or whatever. And so to him, like he probably feels like, oh yeah, if I stay here longer, people might, what if I lose my shit, on someone that I actually,
Care
really
about.
cared about. Yeah. So yeah.
So that's, yeah, I thought the
And
same thing, man. It was really, I don't know. I like that aspect of it. But yeah, go on.
yeah, I think yeah, that kind of sums up the whole movie, the plot. But like, I feel like there's a part that I'm not too happy with the movie, is that the fact that they split it into two halves. Like you can see how the story like rotates around the girl in the first half, where the guy, is trying to help, trying to get, close to her, into her life, try to help her out of the
The slump.
past,
Yeah.
out of the slump. Yeah, and yeah, I mean that pretty much clears out. Okay, yeah, so she's been through this. She's opening up to him, talking about the car incident, with her sister, and what she thinks of it, or why she closed up herself. That, yeah, pretty straightforward. And then kind of the second half is more about his problems. So um I suppose it's a bit too straightforward, as
It's too
in.
straightforward, and I think he also kind of makes Finch come off as a hypocrite, because he's preaching the whole first half of the movie one thing, and then in the whole second half of the movie he's acting completely the opposite. It was kind of like maybe they shouldn't have pushed that too much in the first half, so that it would make more sense that he's like that in the second half, because it kind of felt like almost two different people. I don't know if that was supposed to be on purpose, but it I don't know, it didn't feel like a smooth transition into him being so negative. You know what I mean? Because it
Oh
was
yeah,
like, this is the guy that's trying
yeah,
to save this
definitely.
girl, and then all of a sudden he won't even talk to her. He
Yeah.
won't. Okay, fair enough. He disappears for that reason, but what about like when she's trying to help him? Why he like, oh, don't, you can't help me, blah blah blah. When that's what she thought, and you just saved her from that. Like, what? You literally was chasing this girl for the exact same reason she's now chasing you for. Like, I don't know. I just felt like it did the character of Finch a disservice. I understand that this obviously
Mm.
happens in real life, where people are one way and then, or they say things one way, but they act completely the opposite. But it kind of made his dad. It made his dad feel like he's a bit of an asshole. Like, if that makes sense. Like, which I know it sounds horrendous, right? It sounds like I'm saying the guy that committed suicide is an asshole. But that's just listen to me for a second, okay? Well, basically, it made him killing himself not as impactful. Like, unless you really think about every single aspect of it, it just seems like the dude is a hypocrite, and he didn't let the person that he supposedly loves in, even though he forced her to let him in. So it was just like, what's he doing? Like, this shit make no goddamn sense. Um, But yeah, I think that him flirting with death throughout the movie was a good way to indicate that he's probably going to commit suicide. Like in the bad scene when he's just underwater for ages. Even the first time when he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sinks underwater and only comes out towards the end, and she's like, "Yo, that scared the shit out of me. Don't do that again." The Rock, I thought The Rock would play a more significant role because I thought it would remind him that she can he can be saved. Just the way it reminded her that
Oh,
she can be saved. But I don't know. It's weird because he created the interpretation for The Rock, and yet he didn't get what it meant. I don't know. It's just that's the kind of part that kind of got me like, That's why I felt like it
yeah.
made Finch not look that great. I know it's suicide anyway, and it's hard to make somebody look, whatever while doing it. But I felt like he was. I don't want to say justified. Like I can understand his feelings for doing it, but it did make him look like I don't want to say a bad guy, but like in a negative light.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I mean, that all builds up from the get-go when the problem starts to surface, as in, he start opening up a bit, like mentioning his dad abusing him, and then, even the like the school worker, or the guy who kind of give him like sessions in school, like be like, hey bro, you gotta go to this like gatherings to just let your feelings out, whatever. And he's been through some
Excuse me.
stuff, but I mean, I suppose like the first half of the movie, you don't know what's he's been through, so you'd be like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm intrigued to find out. But like, I don't know, like towards the end, they never actually kind of expose or explain what's the actual problem Finch is going through, or he, I mean, like it's definitely some trauma from childhood, or I don't know, it could be some other sorts of mental illness. Like, I mean, guys, mental illness are serious stuff. Like please, don't try to make fun of
Get
them,
help,
or
bro. You know what I'm saying? If you got some situation, get help, bro. Talk to people around you, bro. You know what I'm saying? People are like way more willing to listen than people give them credit for. You know what I'm saying? Like your friends do give a shit about you. You know what I'm saying? Have a conversation with them, bro. You know what I'm saying? So,
preach, bro, preach.
yeah. But
But
let's
yeah,
hey.
anyway, yeah, back to the plot. So towards the end, like you can kind of tell, oh yeah, maybe Finch has some mental illnesses, but I don't know, like for me, they never explained, or like get help or anything. Like, even though like his friends around be like, yeah, he disappeared, that's just him being him. I mean, there are too much red flags to ignore it. Like the sister, she
Yeah.
cares
Also,
about
yeah, it
Finch.
did feel like even though his friends knew him for so long, they did nothing, right? It
Yeah.
I don't know. They just let it. Oh, that's just Finch. Like what? Like what? Y'all think this is okay? Y'all think this is normal? Like what? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
bro, I mean, like it's obvious that he could use some more professional helps, but like nobody actually were able to see it. I suppose maybe from a single parent family, also where the mom is always not around and the sisters is always busy. That kind of makes sense. I feel really sorry for what happened in the movie, and towards the end, but like it's a tragedy, obviously. But I mean, if someone were able to at least be like, hey, like, so listen to him more, or actually get him involved in some professional help, maybe that changes the whole story. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, everybody kind of let him just in his own devices. Just let him be. You know what I mean? Like, which is like, I know sometimes like you see a friend that you know and they're doing some crazy shit and you find it very difficult to talk to them. Like, but at least try. You know what I'm saying? At least try. I don't know. It's just weird. But at the same time, maybe them knowing him for so long, they've probably tried a lot of times, and he might have just pushed him further and further away. But I feel like the movie didn't convey that well enough. Do you know what I mean? The movie should have conveyed some form of look, we know him for a long time and we've tried and tried and tried. We've just decided to just deal with it like this because, because even like, you remember Finch is afraid that everybody runs away from him, right? But I thought if she ran away from it and ran away from the situation, that would make sense if that triggered him going committing the suicide. But she never did. You know what I mean? She never ran away from it. She looked for him. She chased him. She tried with him. So it's I don't really get where the trigger came from. I get that it's probably from him being afraid of hurting her or whatever. But because the whole movie, the main aspect of the movie, like the anger thing was there too, but the main thing was that everybody that he loves leaves, right? His mom is never around, his dad, all that shit, and he was like, oh, nobody ever stays friends with me, boom, boom, boom. But she stays, so like, shouldn't that do something? Shouldn't that help in some? I don't know. I felt like the in betweens wasn't handled super well. I think the overall arcing story is fine on a basic level, but I think it's too black and white. It does not enough there's not enough
Yeah,
connecting
it's
threads.
explaining. Yeah, like there, like I suppose it could be the well, guys, like I think there's a movie is based on a book, so it could be, the book, the story itself is lacking these elements, or it could be the limitation with movies,
Yeah,
you have to
the
chop
time
off bits and
limits.
pieces
Yeah.
there. Yeah, so it could be either way. Well, I mean, if you guys have read a book, like, feel free to tell us in the comment section. Let us know. Like, I mean, not a big fan of reading myself, so.
Although I would say you need to read Tower of God. If you ever want to hate somebody in life, read Tower of God. The character in that makes Joffrey look like an angel, bro.
Damn.
But yeah, bro. I don't know. I like these type of stories, just because it's dealing with stuff that a lot of people, Ireland especially, it's a high suicide rate country. The town I'm raised in and from is one of the highest suicide rates within Ireland. I think it was when I was growing up. It was like the second. Do you have your headphones off?
No, I'm good. Go on.
Okay, because I can hear myself from your phone.
Oh, shit. Hold up.
Yeah, no worries. Hello. Okay, now we can. Yeah.
Right.
So basically, like, where I'm from has like one of the highest suicide rates, especially when I was growing up. It's not as bad now, but when I was growing up, you had crazy high suicide rates. And I remember, like, I've had conversations with people that have lost somebody, and like, I just never really got it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're like 16, 15, 17, like, your thoughts aren't fully formed when it comes to those type of situation. And I was very ignorant about why it happens, or et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Because especially like in the black community, like, suicide is like a weird thing. Like, people just, it's very rare for black people to commit suicide. Like, mental health and stuff like that is just not really a thing. And it's actually been proven that poorer countries has less mental health problems. I don't know why that is. Okay, I'm not a scientist or fucking whatever. I don't really, or a psychologist. I don't know the exact details of it, but supposedly that's a factor to it. So where I'm from, like, if somebody goes, I got a mental problem, people probably laugh at your ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, at home, people laugh at your ass and be like, are you stupid? Like, get over that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because I suppose people are too worried about eating to think about other existential crises. You know what I'm saying?
I don't mean to joke about it or anything, but like in my point of view, like, if you don't, like, if you're already struggling, I mean, yeah, I mean, that could be the case where you don't really have the time for like no, I don't mean,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
About it, bro. Stop laughing, man.
No, but I know what you mean. I agree. Yeah, go on. Continue.
Like there's a phrase from where I'm from. Like, if you are, like, you're too busy for getting sick, because if you got sick, you gotta go see the doc or whatever. Like,
you can't afford that shit.
You're just too busy. Like, yeah, you don't really have the time for seeing a doctor or stuff like that. But, like, bro, again, like, guys, like, if you find yourself sick in physically, mentally, whatever, go find help.
Definitely go see somebody, because the thing is, especially in the first world problem, that's probably the biggest ailment. One of the biggest ailments is that, because it's an existential crisis thing as well. It's like there's so much going on sometimes, and I think, I don't know if the human condition was built to be in the type of society we're building, and that's probably what aids in causing those type of situation. We're overwhelmed with information. We're overwhelmed with the amount of people we're communicating with. Like, people aren't supposed to know 10,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, people aren't supposed to be
Yeah.
communicating with millions of people online and getting ridiculed. And I'm not just saying, obviously suicide existed before that because of bullying and all that stupid type of shit, which people do still today. Well, it's a crazy thing. I don't. It's different scenarios. Like, it's not that we're not undermining mental health or that what causes that, but I'm just saying that different regions have different type of problems that cause the same results. Do you know what I mean? So, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I felt the movie tried its best in not choosing a side, in not painting it positively or negatively, in just saying this happens, and there's really no answer for it. But I wish that there was some kind of answer for it because I feel like that would be more helpful to people watching the movie. If they're going through mental health and they see that there's no answer, that could just make you feel more hopeless, right?
Oh
Or am I
yeah.
wrong?
True.
Like,
Yeah.
because if I, if I
Yeah, you said like when the kid when the sister kind of, well, I wouldn't say like seal the deal, but like majorly causes what happened at the end, I suppose. That's the trigger you were looking there.
Yeah, and
He,
it's not her fault, obviously, but the movie is also kind of telling us that there's no hope. So if there's no hope, like, isn't that almost encouraging people to like, I don't know, like, it's just weird. It's weird, but I feel like maybe the movie was just trying to say
yeah,
that we don't have the answers.
to a certain point, like, yeah, Finch, that's like you said, they kind of make it a little bit cheap, like as in, the girl seems to be the main character, and then kind of she moved over. I mean, she moved on, and then she kind of stand back up after the incident, after all that you know
And
shadows,
dealt with
but
it
like,
better than how she dealt with her sister's death. I don't know. It was just weird.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
they kind of made Finch like kind of a consumable character there,
Yeah,
which is
almost
kind of,
just for her growth
yeah,
that he died. Like, yeah,
yeah, it just,
they didn't handle it perfectly. I didn't think. I think they could have told the same story and had a bigger impact because I enjoyed the movie more minus the end. I think the end was my least favorite part. Not just because Finch died. I think Finch dying makes sense in the type of story, but I think the execution wasn't amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it
mm,
it also, I don't know. Obviously, it's supposed to feel sudden, but because we can see both characters, it's not supposed to be as sudden for us because we're seeing both characters. Do you get me? Because in real life, why it's so sudden is you can't see your friend's life, right? You can't see what happens
yeah,
to them at home. You can't see anything behind the scenes. Um, we saw a lot of Finch. We saw a lot of his thoughts. We saw what he was doing in his room. We saw the type of thoughts racing in his mind. So it was weird then that they just decided we're not going to show you what he's thinking now, and he's just going to die. Um, yeah, I just don't think they showed us quite enough to lead to that. I think they should have gave us a better breakdown. I don't think they need to say anything, but even just show and not tell. Just put it on screen and give us more moments leading to his death. But yeah, I don't know. It definitely felt cheap in comparison. It didn't feel like I don't want to say a wordy
impactful
death,
or
but yeah, it
anything.
wasn't as impactful. I wasn't as sad. I was more like, what, you know?
Yeah, that, like, did that just happen? Like, that's literally like I kind of skip finish the ending there because it's just, yeah, it kind of drags a bit. Plus, like, I mean, I didn't see that coming, but still, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Especially with the skipping, I was like, oh shit, oh he dead, oh fuck, what the fuck?
And even
Like,
like
more or less that.
and even like he promised to bring her to that place for the car accident place, the church, and then he
Oh
just
yeah, yeah.
didn't. You know what I mean? It was like, I don't know, like, at least let him do that. I don't know. I felt like he could have done like a, I don't know. I just felt like his character could have seemed more poetically, like, finished off. It's hard to talk about this without sounding like an imbecile or like or without sounding ignorant. about suicide, but you guys have to understand that we're critiquing a movie, right? So it's not really, we're not critiquing actual mental health. We're just critiquing movie execution. You know what I'm saying? Because a movie's job is to tell a story, a convincing story, and to make us feel an impact, right? So we're judging that. Yeah. So please don't confuse it with real life situation. Even though we will mention real life situations to support our argument, you know what I'm saying? And to just further the discussion. But it's not. We're not psychiatrists or whatever, okay? Just hey, we're just guys with with thoughts. Oh shit!
Yeah, tell us what you think of it, like the movies or
yeah.
Even,
What do you
even
think
if
of the
you watched
the
it or not? Like yeah.
If you have mental health,
guys,
maybe you should watch this, bro. Maybe you should watch the movie or this review.
Yeah, we should have add that before the episode starts. Like,
I'm gonna put it.
Don't watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a fucking disclaimer because I think people with mental health should not. Anyone that's suicidal, which I used to be for a long time, you should not watch this movie. It doesn't help.
Yeah.
And neither does this review. So this review just helps you understand the movie and maybe pick apart the problems with it. Actually, Netflix put up an interview today that actually had that disclaimer. It's an interview about the movie. Netflix put it up, and he had that disclaimer. He was like, if you suffer from mental health, maybe you shouldn't watch this interview. And he was quoted.
Well, then maybe we are not minorities.
We're not. If the people that made the movie are putting that disclaimer. Oh, but I'm just glad it brings up the conversation, man.
I kind of, now I questions about like the topics Netflix picks for their originals, like.
Yeah, I feel like they use it for money, bro. Because even 13 Reasons Why, I feel like they use this traumatizing moments for cash, bro. Like it's kind of crazy, bro.
But I mean, I suppose before Netflix, popularized it, like 13 Reasons Why is already.
That's Netflix.
No. I think they have. Oh, do they have the show before they have the books?
I don't think it was a book. I think Selena Gomez helped make 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, really? I thought they were I thought they had like a book before they had the the. Yeah, I'm actually looking at it. Like, it's a novel.
Yeah, but it was only a 288 book, right? I think season 1 maybe dealt with the situation as the book, but season 2 and 3 doesn't seem to. I don't know. That's the complaints I've been seeing online, is that like it's abuse. Like, I don't know, the book might be the same, to be honest, but Netflix adaptations, they never exactly follow the book, like, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, they popularized like everything, because
it almost glorifies
it's literally, it's literally the most subscribed video on demand service out there. Like, anything can't beat Netflix at the moment. Like, at the moment, I'm saying.
Yeah,
we don't know about the future. We ain't fortune tellers, man. But
go on.
With Netflix impact, I mean, they trying to go with the more adult dark styles, especially with their selection of recent movies, originals, topics. Like, you can tell like they want to classify themselves as a more targeting towards the mature type of audiences. But like these topics, I suppose, could use a bit more thoughts, or I don't know, like
definitely and better execution,
like change it a bit.
Yeah, because even I think with 13 Reasons Why, I think maybe this movie does a better job because it's not imbalanced. It's kind of like it just shows you what happens. But I feel like 13 Reasons Why definitely it almost idolizes and glorifies it. It almost like romanticizes that whole situation. Like, imagine if I was like 13, I'd be like, oh my god, like, especially back when I felt suicidal, I'd be like, oh my god, like, I could if I kill myself, I could record these tapes and leave this mystery, and I'll be remembered forever. You know, it's so romanticizing. It's weird, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just really weird, bro. Like, it didn't paint it. And like, I remember watching season 1 and thinking, this is a weird show, bro. Like this, it's a weird show. And the girl was such a fucking asshole. Like, what? I don't get. Anyway, look, let's just get. Hey, but you know what? Empty. If you get a chance, please read Tower of God, because I feel like we could have the best conversations of all time about characters and even mental health when it comes to that, because it's so. Oh my days! It's so. Oh my days,
Mind
bro.
fucked, is it?
Bro, bro, you literally like your mouth is open and you just want to punch. You want to go into the webtoon and start beating that person. You know what I'm saying?
All right, enough sneak peek for Tower of what?
God.
Okay, Tower of God. Yeah. I mean, there could be an episode of Tower of God. There could be there could be not. Whatever. Like, yeah. There could be or
the
not,
show is
whatever.
coming on Crunchyroll. The animation doesn't look amazing, but guys, the story is so phenomenal. I more than highly encourage it. It's oh my days, like it's in my top 5 best things, best content, best anything, movies, books, mangas, whatever. And I've read hundreds and watched hundreds. It is my top 5, and you like trust me, like my top 5 is only elite. You know what I'm saying? So check that shit out. And also, if you didn't watch this movie, do check it out on Netflix and give us your thoughts. We gave you ours. And again, disclaimer, we are not psychiatrists. We're just giving movie critiques and stuff like that. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. If you have thoughts about it, or any opinions regarding our commentary or the movie, feel free to leave a comment down below, and we can have a nice, fantastical, respectful discourse down below. Subscribe.
Peace, guys. See you on the next review.